Olá, meu nome é Marcos Franke e hoje tivemos a oportunidade de entrevistar o vocalista do Gravedigger, Chris Boltendahl. A banda alemã está vindo para o Brasil para 4 shows para celebrar 45 anos de carreira. A banda passará por Brasília, Curitiba, São Paulo e Limeira. A banda celebra o lançamento também do novo álbum, Bone Collector, que traz em sua formação o Tobias Kersting, o novo guitarrista novo, né? Que já está há uns 2 anos na banda, mas traz um frescor absurdo para a banda, com faixas como Killing Is My Pleasure, The Devil's Serenade, Riders of Doom, Graveyard Kings. Ouçam essas músicas e tire suas próprias conclusões. Mas antes disso, com vocês, Chris Boltendahl, a lenda do heavy metal alemão. Até mais. Sehr gut, danke. Und dir, Chris, alles
Ah,
in
du machst das
Ordnung?
auf Deutsch oder auf Englisch, oder?
Na, ich mache es aber auf Englisch, weil ich ja nicht der Einige, der hier auf dieser Webseite arbeitet. Aber ich
Ah,
mache eigentlich das Interview eigentlich immer auf Deutsch mit dir. Deshalb, aber diesmal mache ich es auf Englisch, damit es auch alle verstehen.
aber du bist bestimmt in Deutschland aufgewachsen, oder?
Nein, ich bin hier in
Nein.
Brasilien aufgewachsen. Ja,
Oh, du
ich
sprichst
bin
ja akzentfrei
Brasilianer.
Deutsch.
Meine Eltern sind aus Deutschland. Ne?
Ah, okay.
Ne? Ich war auch in der deutschen Schule und so weiter. Also
Und wo
ganz
wohnst du? In São
interessant.
Paulo, oder?
Ja, São Paulo. Mhm.
Ah, okay. Ja, cool, Mann.
Ne? Also, we are as old, almost as old as I'm. I'm 46 years old. Gravedigger is already 45 years old. So it's it's
And I'm
amazing that
63.
it's amazing that we are connected even almost with age of careers. And Gravedigger is coming to Brazil for 4 shows, celebrating 45 years of existence. Um, Tell me a little bit about how this incredible career has been until now for you.
It was or is an amazing journey, and I always remember the good times in the 80s when I was a young kid, When I started to listen to metal, I was more or less 10, 11 years old. My first band was T-Rex, Suzy Quattro, and they were all alive at this time. And Suzy Quattro is playing music also because she's now over 70 years old. And the beginning when we start with playing heavy metal with Gravedigger, it was a different time, I think that music was more culture than it is today. Today, it seems like also with all the streaming platforms, it's a little bit more like fast food. But in my time, in the 80s, it was there was a new album announced in a paper, in a newspaper from a music magazine, and the day of the release, we are waiting in front of the record store and puts a vinyl like a holy grail on the record player and listen then there with the headphones, and bought it and then like, with the Holy Grail at home and closed the door for the parents, and then with headphones or with speakers, we make it loud and loud and loud and listen to it every day. So I remember all the good times, but nowadays it's a bit different. My boy is I have a son who is now 19 years old. I think that the mobile phone is his hand and the mobile phone are nearly the same, and he always listened to music on the mobile phone. But through all the years, I brought him vinyls and a good hi-fi desk and everything. And he used it also. He's a very good guitar player, a good singer. and he knows what music means, you know, and he has a different approach to handle with music. So I'm really happy about that. But most of the people on Spotify, they listen only for 30 seconds, and a lot of bands are composing music for this kind of listeners, you know. But I don't want to make a chorus for after 30 seconds. So we are a little bit like dinosaurs with our kind of music.
But you're awesome dinosaurs. You're awesome. You're
Yeah,
less
awesome dinosaurs.
awesome
That's a good
dinosaurs.
band name, you know. That's a good band name. Awesome
Yeah.
band. Yeah, very nice.
With Bone Collector, the new album, you guys did like one of the best heavy metal albums of the year, in my opinion.
Thank
And
you.
it is interesting to see how fresh you guys sound, even though you have already 45 years of career. It is incredible that even though keeping this heavy metal style alive, you keep inserting new things in your music. Um, is this something that you somehow study, or is this something that comes out naturally for you? This kind of mixture or heavy metal sound with other elements somehow? Do you listen to new music at some point to have this kind of new elements in your music?
I also listen to old music.
Of
No,
course.
I'm a guy who is listening. Now I found after all these years, I've find my way back to Rainbow. Since 6 or 8 weeks, I listened to the first three Rainbow albums. I'm so excited about that, and yeah, that all the music I listen to. Normally, I listen to old music like from the 70s or 80s. You will find some elements in my compositions, you know. And remember, when we do an interview for the next record, what I told you today, you know. So to sound fresh is you have to do something what you love, you know. And I love heavy metal. I love to play heavy metal on stage. I love to play in the studio. I like to compose heavy metal. And my head is a big database, you know, of heavy metal songs. And when I start writing songs with Tobias, we said, okay, let's do a song like this from this and this band, but we do it in a greater style, you know. We can't renew this kind of music, you know. We can make good quality music of heavy metal, you know, but we can't sound like in the 80s because we have the year 2025. And all people or all bands try to sound like in the past. I think they are on a wrong way. They can play music like in the past, but they don't have to sound like this because they didn't live in this time. Because then most of the band, like Ambushed, for example, they was not born
Exactly.
when I start making music, you know, and that's crazy. But anyway, we try to find back to the signature sound of the band with guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. No keyboard schnick schnack anymore, you know. I think we are back not to the roots, we are back to the essential sound of Gravedigger, and I think that is very important for the band.
Yes, it is. And it is interesting that songs like Killing Is My Pleasure and The Devil's Serenade, Riders of Doom, wow, what an amazing song, and Graveyard Kings. These songs I like to they are super heavy. They are heavier than other Gravedigger albums, of course, but still bring those heavy metal riffs and um, that sound, heavy metal sound, is there on every song. It's interesting to have that. When you say you're still doing that, you're doing that with like a lot of love. I see that on the songs.
I think what we miss in the time of Exoritus, for Excellent was the most important thing for him was to have a good chorus. I like also chorus, but what was a main or what got my main attention when I was young and I listened to a heavy metal song? It was not the chorus, it was the main riff. It was the beginning of a song, you know, and that and I think that is the most important difference between Axel Ritt and Tobias Kersting, that we're working first on a very good main riff, which got our own attention. We say, wow, that's crazy, that's good. And then we start to write a chorus or a verse, but the main riff is, yeah, it sounds like the main riff, you know, of the song. And if you listen to a Jewish priest or Jawbreaker or Screaming for Vengeance, all these songs are living from the main riff in the beginning, not from the chorus, you know.
And it is interesting to talk to legendary musicians as you and Doro, and they are so connected to heavy metal music. Um, uh, how do you deal with the situation when you see that heavy metal is not like seen in other countries, not only in Germany, as the main listened music today, but it's more seen as an underground music today. Is this something that bothers you? Is there something you want to do to make that heavy metal music to be on like mainstream again?
No, because when I started, metal was underground. We grow our hair long. We say the fuck our parents, you know, and but on the other side, the parents supported us with money that we can bought guitars and everything. So, but we said, fuck parents, fuck the church and everything, you know. So we were against the system, you know, and we were underground. And I think that is very important, that metal is underground. And if you have a tralala band like Sabaton or other bands, which, yeah, it's hard to say, but this is not heavy metal, you know. It's okay. The music is right to exist, everything, no problem. I don't judge anybody who is listening to Sabaton or Powerwolf, but it is definitely no metal, and it is not underground, you know. So I'm happy that I started with an underground band. I'm happy that I play underground music after all so many years, and when I'm die, I'm also underground, you know. So so I started as an underground musician, and I will die as an underground musician.
And the it is interesting that you had the opportunity to even sing with Doro on one collab today. Nowadays, it's super new that people do collabs everywhere because, you know, internet. Is there another legendary artist that you would like to do a collab nowadays, at least
Yeah,
collaboration?
for sure. It was hard to say, but it was Ozzy. You know, Ozzy is one of my main idols and influences, also Ronnie James Dio. But I think the third one is definitely Ralph Halford, you know. If I had the chance to do a song with him together, I would die for that, you know. So, but anyway, I don't think I a couple of years I met him in person after all so many years. When I was a kid, I was in the Judas Priest show, and there was no barriers at the beginning when we had shows here in Germany, you know. The
Hmm.
barriers come much later. And then I was in the first row on the stage, in front of Rob Halford, and I always touched his boots, you know, this leather boots of the motorcycle boots, and always screaming like a weird guy. Hey Rob, hey Rob! In every break between the songs, I called, hey Rob, hey Rob, and I told him this story, and he was laughing his ass off. And I said, no, yeah, I'm more or less in the same position like you, and but at the end, it's that makes everything more sim yeah sim sympathic, you know, that that fans are yeah, glorify the idols, and on the other side you have a reputation about the people to live yeah, a good life, and that people have fun to listen to you, you know.
Our time
Yeah.
is up, Marcos.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chris, for
Thank
your
you, Marcos.
time.
I hope to see you in São Paulo at the show.
Yes, I'll be there and maybe say hi. I hope
Yeah,
you
it
have
would
a
be
great
cool. Say
day.
hello in German. After
Yeah.
all this, after all this travel, I would be happy to find a German guy.
Yeah, at least we will talk a little bit in our native tongue.
All right, my friend. Hope to see you there. Thank you very
Ja,
much for the interview.
habt einen
Thank you
schönen
so much,
Tag.
guys.
The streets like a waking dream. It's the pulse of rebellion and the call of the wild. We embrace the passion like a rock and